see this.
Oh, yeah.
I've been wanting to do that for so long. It's been 4 long months. Welcome back to
It's
Be
been a
For Real.
long time.
I know.
It's been over 4 months, right?
November 19th. Just slightly over 4 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're like 4 months and 5 days. But I'm excited to be back.
We're back.
We're back. Caden Hughes, Grant Cooper. I was going to say Copper. I don't know why.
People do that.
Do they
It's
actually?
happened before.
Really? Dang. I mean, they'll say brain. That's what they say for me.
They have done that.
No, my
We've heard that
preschool
one.
teacher. My preschool teacher put brain.
So it's multiple people.
Multiple times.
Okay.
Like I had a preschool teacher put brain on a paper that went back to my parents.
Preschool teacher is one
That's
of those
pretty bad.
jobs. Preschool teacher is one of those jobs where I feel like I could start tomorrow and never get fired. Just feels very doable. Doesn't seem that difficult. Maybe I would not want.
I mean,
to
I feel like you could do it, but I was
Yeah.
like, you got to make sure you're right.
I feel like
They do screen you. Like
Well,
they like.
I would
they would
pass
screen
this.
you.
You wouldn't.
I agree that like
Fastest
once you're there, I feel like you're not gonna get fired.
Exactly. Like, what are they gonna? What are the 4-year-olds gonna be like? He hasn't taught us anything. They don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not what ABC. I'm pretty sure D was after
Exactly.
E.
It's like,
Like that's where
We
that's
just
where it
watch
is.
movies all day. I don't think I'd ever get in trouble for it. I don't think I'd ever get caught. You know.
Just
I
teach
think-
them life through like Goodwill Hunting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, dude.
A Leonardo DiCaprio catalog, Michael B. Jordan
Like a
catalog.
Magic School Bus, maybe a little bit of South Park. Just see it. Just test them.
Just throw it in there a little bit.
Test the waters a little
See what
bit.
they do.
Exactly.
Teach them at a young age.
I see the vision. I see it.
It is funny, but we are so happy to be back. I'm excited. This has been a while. We were looking through all the scripts, and we decided to screw the segments for this episode. We're having fun. We're just going to have 3 men up here talking about random topics. That was like a weird way to put it.
I was,
3 guys, 3 men, 1 script. No, it's like
I don't.
3 men, no scripts.
it is no scripts. Like we're just throwing out questions. And we're
I'm
just gonna
uncomfortable.
talk. But well, that's why you.
Fast, closer to you.
I know.
That's why Caden's
I noticed. Don't worry.
We do, if you have, it's been 4 months, so we do switch up a little bit. We have the same background. We have pretty much the same thing, as in no one running the camera, because that's how we always do it, which means there's no lower thirds. Hence why you can see our desk. Kind of looks bare. But
it's beautiful though.
it is beautiful.
And there aren't any lights on.
Yeah, but I say we got to put on the lights.
But that's irrelevant.
That's what it is. I mean, that's how Be For Real is. You see the real tape.
This is real here.
So we're just being real. But with that being said, there's a little bit of a switch up. I'm on the left. I'm usually not on this side. Right?
There's a joke there. There's a joke there for
There's
sure.
a lot of jokes here. Maybe on the screen I'm on the right, but I'm on my left. So I'm right.
Yeah, you would be. You're on their right.
I'm on their right, my left.
Is that a political statement?
You didn't know. Yeah.
I'm moving much
Everyone's on
farther
the
to
left.
right after I ran.
Everyone's on the left, okay? It doesn't matter where. Just turn 180 degrees, you'll be on the other left. But yeah, we're back. So we have a little bit on. Thought this might give a new try, see how this works. It may look like I'm just segregating myself between you two. It's not bad because
It's
we're all
because he
white.
thinks he's better than us.
Yeah.
I do. I sit myself on a
Well,
pedestal.
he sees us as equal, just separate.
I see them as equal below me. No, it's like that's where it is. You guys are equal, just below the host. I'm the host.
Okay.
So, but we had a lot of
Under
fun.
you, bro.
So we're enjoying. This is just a fun intro. I think
Says
this
the
is
Maryland guy.
This is a long intro. It's one of my favorite ones to do. But we're here, so we're gonna start off with everyone's favorite topic. And I only say everyone because I am everyone, and I think it's my favorite. Let's be real. That is
Brian got a big ego now.
Yeah, that is what we
Been
are.
back after 4 months. He
That is
thinks
what we
he
are.
owns the
I think
place.
God said something like that in the Bible at one point. That's like an omnipresent host thing. I am everyone.
I am everyone, and everyone is me. And that's
I am
how we
quiet.
are. So,
Sure, yeah.
but yeah. So do you guys want to start with a hot take? Let me start off with one.
You got it.
You want me to start with it? So I was thinking about a few around, and I had some sports ones, but I kind of want to stick a little bit closer to Clemson because I realized this today, and it's not a severely hot take. It might also not be good, but you guys might not agree with it. I think Clemson parking is overhated.
Oh my God, that's a horrible take.
I
Properly hated.
Specifically, not the people as much as the problems we have. Now, I'm not saying we don't have parking issues.
I'm paying for a meter spot right now, and I paid
Okay, that's pretty bad.
$200 for the semester. Yeah, there was outside of Hendrix, there was no parking today.
My only thing is like when I go driving though,
$6.25.
like when I come in, people always said like don't try to park any time between like 11 and 2:30, and I always end up finding a space.
I do
pretty
too.
quick.
It's always in the back though. You're
not close. That's where I think like some people are overreacting.
I've had a full Tiger Walk plenty of times. All my classes are at like 11, so I might be at the worst time.
That's
But
pretty- yeah.
Tiger Walk is full when I get there 3 times a week.
But I think that's what more of my hot take is, or maybe my rant. It's not necessarily that parking is wrong because they do have a parking issue. Trust me. I mean, they're taking over like what 25 to 75% of the C1 Like they're taking off a big chunk, which makes no sense because you're not adding
The
parking.
worst part about C1 is the fact that you get to do a weird 3-point turn to try to turn around. So,
Exactly.
I just go past those lanes. I don't even try.
It's embarrassing.
Because I look stupid doing them.
Yeah.
But that's where it's like, for me, I think it's not necessarily overhated on the parking because the parking scenario is not good. It's more like people are overreacting because they don't want to do the long walk. And that's what I think. I think people come in, their front spot isn't there at 2:30, at 2, at 1, and then they want to complain that they didn't get a close spot and then they have to park far away.
I think it's more of just like a looking at the big picture thing of they took C1 part of it and they took more of it later. They keep taking spots, and now they've taken away freshman parking.
That's huge.
That's the big thing is they're taking away spots now from people. They're disenfranchising the freshman parkers. But I think it's just the fact that they just keep taking them, and they don't have a timeline to get them back to us.
That can be understood. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I have 3 rebuttals, and that was one of them and stuff. My other 2 were just that. Good job. Just that I don't mind the walk as long as I know what the walk's going to be.
I agree.
If it's like I'm going to get I got a class at 9, I'm going to get there at 8:30 and walk 20 minutes. But when I can't park, and then I'm just, I guess I'm not going to class, that happens maybe 5 times a semester, but that's a lot of times to miss a class for a semester. And then 2, it's the short trips. I mean, the idea of going to campus to get a quick workout in, going to campus to grab Chick-fil-A, going to campus to throw a frisbee around. What's the freaking name of the park?
Bowman?
Yeah.
Oh, Bowman. Yeah.
Yeah, Bowman. Throwing a frisbee on Bowman for half an hour, that's dead because you're not walking a 40-minute round trip.
Yeah, I agree. I don't come to campus if I don't have to.
Because of parking. Yeah, I only come if I'm going to be there for hours.
That's my thing is
Or if it's late at the end.
I can understand you guys because I know you guys are walking. When you guys complain, it makes sense. I just feel like too many people just jump on the train because they just want to jump on.
I do agree, though.
And that's where I'm
I agree.
It's not really a set hot take. It's just more of the fact that I think it's way over analyzed.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Or
Yeah,
way
okay, yeah.
overhated. Because yes, it deserves it. I agree. Why are you taking parking spots? But at the same time, I'm sitting there it's not that bad because every time I've gone, now maybe it's because I don't have 8 a.m.s and I'm not coming to campus till 10:30, and I usually ride the bus from my apartment, which typically I think every single apartment complex has a bus ride ability to get there. I usually find parking space when I'm coming from my golf class. I come from my golf class around 2:30.
Yeah, I forget you have a golf class.
I do. And then I find parking you're gonna have to find a strangling spot, but there's usually 10, 15 spots across.
I've never had to wait more than 20 minutes to get a spot, and that's on rare occasions. I think people do overhate it, but it is still bad.
Yeah. I might just be in the perfect time. It just might be I just may not be able to be here.
Man.
I am just spoiled. Yeah. I go from my golf class right into a pristine parking spot 2 rows up the.
It is pretty bad though. When I get really excited that I get to park 3 minutes closer, so now my 20-minute walk's a 17 minute. It's not.
Now I get to sit outside of class for 7 minutes instead of 4.
I love it here. It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to fix it, and hopefully the next hot take is a lot more exciting and a lot more fun. So who would like to go next?
I got to go. Okay, I guess yours is the big one. I got 2, in case one of them's not hot enough.
I had 6 in the chamber, so we're ready.
Dude,
my first one that I truly believe is I am a big fan of chocolate-covered raisins. I don't know if that's a hot take, but ever since I was young.
Why did we invite this kid on the show?
I've always I will defend them
I really hope he's
till my last breath.
About to give the most brutally hot thing. I hope this is a smoke screen right now.
I have another one.
Yeah. That's
I don't like.
I
that
have
take.
8 food takes that are hotter than that, dude.
Well, it's not even that. It's I don't like raisins, so I don't like that take.
I've always liked them.
So it's a hot take for me, but I was that's why do we invite this kid?
I'm a long time advocate
I've always
for
liked chocolate raisins.
sorbet over ice cream and all banana flavored foods. So those are both hotter than your take right there.
I would
pineapple on pizza. Oh, and
the chocolate raisins was hot. I just didn't agree with it.
My hottest food take is the worst kind of pizza I've ever had. I love all pizza, but the worst kind of pizza I've ever had is marinara sauce and mozzarella cheese. That's my hottest food take. But I love that pizza too. It's just the worst one I've ever had.
That's interesting. But Graham, please defend your chocolate raisins. We'll get to that.
I've just always liked raisins. I don't know why. I've always liked chocolate raisins, and people always seem to say that's crazy.
Do you like regular raisins?
What's your other
yes,
take?
I like
no,
regular raisins.
Do you like
just no? What's your other take?
Do you like white chocolate covered raisins?
I don't know. Maybe. I'm sure.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
The other one. All right.
We'll talk about that later too.
We'll scratch that one. My second one is that the sequels in Star Wars are more enjoyable to watch than any of the other 6 movies.
That is hot.
The sequels, like the prequels?
The sequels, like episodes 7, 8, 9, I enjoy watching them more than episodes 1 through 6.
7, 8, 9, like the one with Ray and all?
Yeah.
You enjoy watching that one?
I enjoy watching it more.
Black guy and the girl, right?
Is it more
Yeah.
cinematic?
It looks so much better. The acting is so much better. I watched the prequels a little while ago. The acting is insufferable.
Yeah.
That's
Luke
fair.
is not a great actor.
Well,
I've never seen.
That's also the 1960s with Mark Hamill, but
So,
1970.
I've always been a firm believer that they need to remaster those movies. That would be the greatest thing that's ever
who
happened.
would you cast?
Who cares? Find someone.
You can't just go, who cares?
Find-
and complain
find
about
someone.
acting. No, my only thing is like,
Who would you? You could not cast DiCaprio as an old Luke Skywalker.
Let's make.
Just make the old.
Let's make.
or DiCaprio can be Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Let's make Chalamet
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker. Let's just throw that in there.
Chalamet.
Or Chalamet as Anakin. you
So
know?
he'll be Dune or Tom
Dude,
Holland.
let him.
Like, Tom Holland is Luke. Like,
Those are the only two actors ever when you need two white guys to play a movie.
Tom Holland.
Only
and
Tom
Timothy
Holland and
Chalamet.
Chalamet, yeah. And then, oh my God, the girl can be Zendaya. That'd be great. It's the only two guys.
Princess Leia.
That wouldn't work.
No, 'cause
that wouldn't work.
It would be Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chalamet as Han Solo.
Because they
No.
want to do Tom Holland and Zendaya.
There's a glaring issue there.
Milo, is it Manaheim?
Yeah.
That's playing Flynn in Tangled. He might be a good Han Solo. Or the Mason
I know.
kid that's dating Mackenzie. Is it McKenna Gore? McKenna something. They played in like a rom-com that I just saw recently. And
But the sequels. So one, they look so much better. They look incredible. I think it's pretty obvious. We all can agree on that. The acting's better. The story's bad. I know that. But just I enjoy watching it more.
Is
than
it simply
I do
for the
other things.
visuals?
I think that's the majority of it is the visuals.
Because like my thought is like when I'm looking there, the prequels have, in my opinion, some of the better CGI just because it's very impressive.
Yeah.
Especially for its time. I mean, it was like early 2000s.
Well, I think Episode 3 is the best episode of Star Wars, the Revenge of the Sith.
But do you enjoy? So you're just saying as a total group, you enjoy watching the prequels before?
I would enjoy watching the sequels more than any other movie.
Really?
And
Any of them? Like any of them before like Episode 3? So like, would you rather watch 7, 8, or 9 instead of Episode 3?
yeah, I would.
That's because I know the acting and like the writing was really bad for the.
But I will say, the sequel's story is it's overblown how bad it was. It's really bad, and there's a lot of like red herrings that don't mean anything, a lot of MacGuffins that don't mean anything. But just suspend the disbelief, you'll live. Okay?
The only thing I remember is like more from a Kylo Ren when he's like yelling at
Okay,
it.
yeah. No, it's corny. But also there's some good stuff in there too. Like they can fly now. They can fly now.
But no,
Iconic.
makes
that
okay.
was hilarious.
But then you throw in the fact that Palpatine doesn't die, and it just ruins the entire
Okay,
story of the.
But also that's so funny because they announced that in Fortnite, and that's fantastic. That was announced for the first time in a Fortnite live event. A little fun fact for you.
That's insane. Because it just ruins the whole like process of the story. Like it ruins all. It's like the one where I remember my friend was telling me it was something about like a TV show about like 3 witches, way back earlier in the timeline, and it ended up saying essentially that Anakin wasn't the true chosen one, which is what all of the other like 6, possibly 9
I think-
movies said.
They made a lot of bad decisions, but I can just say, you know what? This is an enjoyable experience. I can live with it. I enjoy it.
I don't enjoy it. I think you just needed to stop after 6.
I
I think you ran it the well too dry, in my opinion. I think you did. I liked Rogue One. Rogue One is
Okay,
one of my
Rogue One is like a top 3 Star Wars movie.
and I feel like it's
Star Wars movie
underrated.
for me.
I mean, a lot of people say
100%.
they like it, but I feel like it's not.
I've had to
rated as-
force people to watch the movie before.
I hated
because
the-
they never wanted to see
I
it.
watched it for the first time on a cruise, and I hated the ending because
The ending was so good. That's
No.
the best part.
I know, but like I hated it because of how it ended. 'cause
Okay.
I was a child
Yeah,
too,
okay.
so like I didn't want to see anything bad happen. But at the same time, now growing up, I kind of realized I'm like that is one of the best endings you could get.
Okay,
like that
that's
is
fair.
that is what it is. I've matured and learned throughout the time. But I think that's one of the most underrated movies. I still really like the prequels a lot, and I think Anakin is hated on too much.
I do like the Clone Wars I think that's like the best setting because I think I've been obsessed with like Clone Troopers like my entire life. I think they're just like really cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think it's more enjoyable to watch the new ones.
I love the visuals of the prequels, even though the lava scene as a child scarred me. Like Anakin getting cut up and everything. But
fair.
when I look at it, I feel like when you break that up into the 3 movies, it's kind of like breaking it up into the 3 types of Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire's, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland's. So it's tough to put one because I feel like Tobey Maguire's was so good that you have to put it with the originals because Tobey was the original Spider-Man, so was obviously 4, 5, and 6 episode. But 1, 2, and 3 episode, that one pairs with Andrew Garfield because, especially for Anakin, because Anakin wasn't loved until years later.
Yeah.
To the point where people are then like, oh, we should have really appreciated how he did because it wasn't his fault. Just like Andrew Garfield. We should have appreciated how he acted as a Spider-Man because he was really good for what he was given. Mm-hmm. And then Tom Holland doesn't really match with the sequels, but it does. It's kind of. It still has the same feeling of being repetitive.
Like it's, it's newer and like a little bit like controversial. I feel like
newer, more like.
A lot of people don't like the new Spider-Man movies.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's seen the same way as in like it's almost
I get that.
dry.
Yeah.
It's just new people in the same story. Like it's just kind of rerun. So that's how I can compare it. I don't really have an issue with the new Spider-Man movies.
Neither do I.
I enjoy them, but I do enjoy the previous ones more. I probably enjoyed Andrew Garfield's the least out of the bunch, just because of what. But now I kind of go back and enjoy it, like Michael B. Jordan as Electro. Is it Electro Man? The guy that falls in a tank and like gets electric powers. But either way, speaking of villains.
Caden, you've been quiet over there. You've been doing
I've been doing his research.
I've never seen Star Wars.
No, he was doing a discussion post.
I
saw that.
for rec and facility management. I've never seen Star Wars, and I just kind of decided I'd knock something out because, Grant, I hated those hot takes. Those are absolutely horrible.
Thank you.
And stuff.
Thank you.
And that's a cold take for me because I think the whole world can all agree. Grant will obviously have cut that out, producer Grant and stuff.
All right, so what's your take that's so much better?
My take that's so much better.
We gotta find a way to show them this. We gotta find. I don't know if you want to just bring it up to the camera to show them.
Thumbnail it or whatever.
We'll explain it first and then show them.
Okay. So earlier today I was thinking about movies where a villain kind of had a point. Okay, and obviously I talked about Gaston. I think my second ever Be For Real. I was talking about how Gaston was my #1 villain that was justified in his actions and stuff. If you want to see that, it's an episode. Sure, look it up. But I wanted to kind of do a little more research to find what villain is the most justified in what they do. And my criteria for this was pretty simple. I just kind of listed all of the examples and found a correlation and then used the criteria based off that. I looked through my letterbox of over 300 movies and found 30 movies that I've seen and at least remember enough to have a review on where I could justify what the villain did. I put those 30 movies in a list and I made a lot of graphs with it and stuff. Maybe we'll go over the graphs more next week. But my favorite one was a 5-circle Venn diagram I created, and it's the most basic one. It's the 5 types of villains that have a point in these movies, okay? And all 30 movies fit at least one of these categories, and most of them fit multiple categories. So I'm gonna break down the 5 types, and I'm gonna break down one movie that fits every single category I know in terms of a trope of where a movie villain is misunderstood, okay? And I'll give one example for each just real fast. I'll rapid fire this, okay? Number 1, doesn't know the protagonist is sentient or conscious. Think like Ken from the Bee Movie trying to kill the bee. Number 2 is they're just trying to do their job. Think about President Business in the Lego Movie, Will Ferrell. Number 3, the hero is just as bad as the villain. Think like Scott Pilgrim and Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Number 4 is they kind of procrastinate the villain. That's Professor Callahan in Big Hero 6. I'll also mention that like these aren't all kids movies. I have, I'm still putting the movies on. I put the kids movies on at first because that's just kind of I feel like the movies that it's the most unanimously seen genre.
Yeah.
You know, we all like you can kind of pair and understand.
Yeah,
exactly. So villain procrastination. Think Professor Callahan in Big Hero 6. The whole movie was kind of justified, and then he said that was his mistake, and then he was a bad guy. If you take away those words, he has a lot of good points. And then number 5 is don't hate the player, hate the game. That's my favorite one. Think the careers in the Hunger Games, where it's like the system sets it up in a certain way, and they didn't know what to do with it. Really quick, I just want to look up, and I want to read this out for the viewers and stuff. Just 2 takeaways I have from this list, okay? Or I'll give you 3 takeaways I have from this list, and one of them will be so fast, okay? Number 1 is I tried to put movies in different, and we'll just talk about one of these things, different generation categories, like this is more for a boomer, Gen X, millennial, or Gen Z people.
Okay.
And then I try to put it into this, in most of these movies, there isn't an answer. And so I only try to, and I also did ones where I did the villain, Loki had a point, and where the hero was a little distorted. And I had about 70 movies.
70.
Most of these movies, it didn't fit one of these buckets, and I didn't even bother. I try to only do it when it distinctly fit one bucket. Okay. Generations, I had a hard time. I put like a dozen movies in. I try to do a political one, like more. I said like convincingly too radically left or right wing, where it's like there would be a like 80% people agree, but the 20% most left or right wing people would have a very different take on this movie. I was able to put like 18 movies on there. Movies where I was like got males and females, men and women see it different. I got like 45 movies on that one. That's one of the biggest.
I mean that's a big one.
Yeah, and I think that what I found, I think you'll find this interesting. The biggest, so when a villain is excused, when a villain is seen as, oh, that guy's awful, when he's like honestly not that bad, or when a hero is excused for awful behavior. For men is usually based, by far the most common thing was the pursuit of power and status. And for women, it was most common the pursuit of maximizing your sexual life in general and stuff. That was my two biggest takeaways from that. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, think like a Jordan Belfort, Wolf of Wall Street type, and then of course like the rom-coms we're about to get into on the women's side. The three biggest tropes I found where a villain was misunderstood, okay? It's two, and then an honorary mention. Honorary mention in game shows where essentially it's like the winner gets $1 million, and then it's here, you won, here's $1 million, but you can also give it to the people that didn't win, and then they're like, no, and it's like, what? That's an honorary mention to that one, because I just don't understand that at all. Also, slight honorary mention to a trope where, and I hope you all know, like, there's no point of any of this, right? But tropes.
I was wondering where this was going.
I told you this earlier.
None of this matters.
Tropes where I found the most examples of where a villain may not be a villain and totally has a point is conventionally charming and attractive, smooth-talking individuals who consistently show dishonesty in a blurry background testimonial on a poolside long-lens necklace mic, overly specific needle-drop quasi-dating show that people go on to boost their social media following. Shout out to Love Island, Cheat, Too Hot to Handle, Perfect Match, Temptation Island, X on the Beach, and F-Boy Island. The number one movie trope where the villain was justified is rom-coms where the girl cheats and then they're like, crap, we gotta make this guy look bad. And that's The Wedding Planner, Sweet Home Alabama, The Notebook, Maid of Honor, Bridges, Madison County. I'm gonna put Crazy Stupid Love, Wedding Crashers, and The Other Woman is a gray area with apologies to movies where they do it right, like Titanic, Safe Haven, and Ends With Us. Without further ado, with that in mind,
this was all the setup for the big reveal. I forgot about that.
All of this was just to show that a lot was put into this, and there's a lot of thought put into this. But this is what I want to talk to y'all about. If y'all have anything to say off of all of that, like obviously,
I have not seen the majority of those movies.
It feels a little dense.
I wish I had, but I have not seen most.
It's a little much. It's a little much to take. But I would love to hear the hot take.
That was all dense, a little hard to follow.
Essentially, that was just showing that you did your work.
Showing data. I think that
Hayden spent a lot of time.
How long did this take you?
Like 3 hours, and I'm not done. So I think basically everything I just said to you from that point is just like if you recognize the movie, you'll be like, oh, hey, I get it. That makes sense. I'm just trying to give you little tidbits of facts and stuff. Hope you had enough dopamine fixes and not be totally tuned out. But if you are, this is what I want to talk to y'all about, okay? So we're starting the dialect now, okay? This movie, the villain does not know the protagonist is sentient or conscious. The villain is just doing his job. The hero is just as bad. They're kind of procrastinating him being bad. And don't hate the player, hate the game, okay? Do y'all have any guesses? I'd imagine no.
Is it a well-known movie?
It's a very well-known movie. It's a well-known animated movie.
Well-known animated, like kid version?
Yeah, like a well-known kids movie, I would say. Yeah.
I mean,
is it like 101 Dalmatians?
No, it's more recent. And I would say bigger.
Moana?
Probably smaller.
Okay. Frozen?
Smaller.
Well, I feel like Frozen.
Okay, you want to guess? Yeah, I'll let you guess.
I have no.
It's a Pixar movie.
Is it like WALL-E or something?
It's like WALL-E, but it's not WALL-E.
WALL-E's close.
It's not Cars.
It's not Cars.
Does it have people in the movie?
It has people in the movie.
Is it Inside Out?
It's not a people movie though. No.
I just watched a whole video about like Pixar movies. I should know this.
I hope you have an opinion on this then.
I say if we don't guess it too often, we're not going to keep here waiting.
I would love to. Okay.
If we can think of three more real quick, we can think of three more.
I need to think of more Pixar movies. That's the big thing.
I mean, you have Toy Story, but none of those count because
not Toy Story.
There's not really much more than the fact that he doesn't know it. Is it a specific, like, is it of a trilogy?
No. It's a one-off movie. Made like a lot of money. It's pretty fun.
Like 3D animation?
Yes.
Or like Hercules type animation, like 2D. Okay, it's 3D.
It's 3D. I'll give you one more guess. You can get 1 in 10 seconds. If not,
I'm blanking.
Bugs Life.
Is it Finding Nemo?
No, it's Skinner and Ratatouille.
Ratatouille?
Yeah, the Ratatouille Skinner. Yeah, you know the little, not the critic. The critic people. That's not a villain. The little short little chef that is constantly trying to mess up the kitchen.
Okay.
He doesn't. First of all, I don't want rats in the kitchen where I'm eating food.
Okay, yeah.
He is doing his job, and it is part. Don't hate the player, hate the game. It's part of this. I don't want like that. That's an easy 2 checks. I feel like that's the easiest one.
Okay.
I'm gonna get progressively tougher.
I'll give it to you.
So. He doesn't know the protagonist is sentient or conscious. He doesn't know Remy can like talk and has ambitions and dreams. He just sees it as a rat, okay? They kind of procrastinate the villain where it's like in the end he does a couple corrupt things, but it's the third act, we're like an hour 20 minutes in the movie when he starts to kind of like make Remy out to be the bad guy. The hero is just as bad. I think also goes into don't hate the player at the game and just doing their job. Again, like fire your employees if they're using that.
Okay, hang on, wait.
Okay?
But the hero is just as bad. I don't know about that.
I think that
I could see that argument. The hero is just as bad because the rat would be technically contagious, like contaminating the food. So technically
That's
speaking,
not necessarily true.
no, yes, it is
think
because
it is
rats
true.
are. If he's in the
Rats
sewer
are
and he
gross.
walks
He's in
out
the
and goes
sewer.
in the head of
And
like.
he also had all the
don't-
rats raid the kitchen.
And in other words, that
Remy had the
you had the rats
rats
raise the
raid the
kitchen. You had the.
Over a
In
misunderstanding.
all fairness, the chef is lying because he can't actually do his job. And then by the end of the movie, the rat, although he washes before he does stuff, he does end up cooking the food, and so your food's being made by rats.
The two
Which are
again,
known
and the
to carry
two
many illnesses.
the two actually truly bad things that both characters do. Okay, and because everything else he does is just trying to get rats out of his kitchen and like see, like it just was like, am I going crazy? Is when he tries to sabotage the food, and what Remy does is he has all the rats raided and steal a bunch of food. They both do that because the kind of system at hand was making it so that they couldn't rise the ranks as a chef. And they both flip out and do pretty messed up things. That's kind of the only time it
The
happens.
reason Remy did it was because he showed his family where the food was, and the family was like, "We need the food."
Yeah, exactly.
Do you have any takes?
I mean, I'm just kind of weird. I mean, that's not really like his fault that his family raided it. That's
Well,
not,
it's just
that's
like
not the hero being
But
bad.
it's just like the bad guy. Like, why is it his fault that he's trying to get rid of a rat?
It's not. I'm just
Maybe you could say the hero is just as bad, but neither.
I'm
are
just
that
kept
bad.
on the hero is just as bad.
I think that neither are that bad, but the hero is as bad as Remy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
I
hero's
can say that.
actions can be just as bad, but the way the story twists it, it looks like Remy's in the right.
And that's what a lot of the hero just as bad. That's usually like the funny thing about the hero just as bad category is usually it's coming of age movies where it's like the main character is just a douchey teenager, and then there's another douchey teenager that's mean. But it's the main
Wasn't that
character.
your thought about
stuff.
Troy Bolton?
Yeah, is that your Sharpay
That's
and
Sharpay in high
Troy?
school
What-
music.
no,
That's Kimmy and Tall.
I've seen
That's
people.
Scott Pilgrim
I've
versus
seen
the
people
World.
talk about that Troy Bolton was like also a villain in that movie, not villain. But like,
I've never heard of that.
I've seen that before. I have.
think that they were just like it's coming. I think that like, and I mean Katie Pfeffer, shout out Touching All Bases. Katie Pfeffer talks about theater kids and how it can be. She did it for 13 years. How it can be a pretty like cutthroat thing because it's like if you're a good actor, you're probably pretty fake. You're all competing for the same roles and stuff, and it can get toxic. And I think it's just a movie about 16 to 18-year-olds that are trying to get good parts and good roles, and that are popular, being told they're great, and that are trying and competing with each other. And it's just as fake as any high school movie. It's focused on Troy, so he's the good guy. But like, I think if you can make a movie about Sharpay where it's like Sharpay's kind of a douche and Troy's worse and stuff, I think you can go both ways.
Well, couldn't
Okay.
you say the villain in Nemo? Would you say the villain in Nemo?
There's a
fits
lot
all
of
five?
no. There's actually I think there's
Yeah, I feel like Nemo. There's a bunch of like separate.
there
like,
were almost
acts.
3 Nemo villains on this Venn diagram.
Like what villain are you talking about?
I'm thinking about
Like-
the dentist
like
or like
I
the
said
little girl. Like,
Darla
there's
in Finding
nothing-
Nemo does
well,
not know the protagonist.
yeah,
is
that's
conscious or
similar to
sentient.
that.
Yep.
Bruce in Finding Nemo was just, I said don't hate the player, hate the game, and I thought about just doing their job, but I was like no. And then I also said I didn't add her because she doesn't count, but the person who killed Marlon's wife in the beginning, the animal,
The
person,
big
animal,
fish.
That's don't hate the player, hate the game, but that's not really a villain because you never saw it on screen. I have like 10. It was gonna be my 10 commandments, but it's like 11 now. Of like caveats where it's like you don't count as a villain if you're one of these things, and that
you have to do like a certain
you
amount of
you have to be seen
criteria.
on screen. Yeah. Did y'all hear that?
I've been hearing somebody knocking on the door. I don't know what's going on.
Come on in.
Yeah, someone's knocking in.
I feel like they would make themselves
See what it
known.
is.
Because what if it's like crazy?
I can't
What,
get
what if
up.
it's like big, like schizophrenic, and there's just no one there?
All
What
losing
if there's
our
no one
minds?
there? I'll say I cannot get up because I am wired in. A little behind the
Do you
scenes.
want me to go see if there's anyone there? I don't think there's anyone there. But
Yeah, I think they would have come.
If they wanted to,
come
they
in
could
by
come.
now.
It's
yeah,
unlocked.
that's true.
They can open up.
It's a free
They at
country.
least walk up, and the lights would be on anyway.
That's true. It's
So it's motion sensor lights.
Must
Big detective Ryan Warner over here.
But after 25 minutes of talking about our hot takes,
oh shoot.
We got a speed
I wonder
run.
what the next 45 minutes are going to be about.
we're gonna get.
I want to go home and eat dinner, dude.
I know. I got something to do as well. I have a.
All right, we'll be quick
But
with this.
I'm going to go to the gym tonight.
Our idea was to go through some very psychological, not
I don't know about
psychological,
any of
philosophical questions.
deep thought
I
questions.
love these. I feel like
So-
you're sarcastic though.
I'll go through at least 2, and then I think we'll be good. The first one is, which one do you believe is scarier? This was originally one for the mind, and essentially it's just one question to debate. But that was the topic at hand. It's no longer the topic. We're just going to ask, which one do you guys believe is scarier, the deep ocean or outer space?
We've talked about this before, and be for real.
I feel like we have,
We definitely have.
but I have it on
It's
a
at least been a while though.
That's true.
Has your opinion changed? Like, personally,
I don't know what my opinion was.
I think the deep ocean.
No, I think it's the
I agree.
I think the deep ocean's scary because there's all the animals.
I'm more thinking with deep ocean is like we know the stuff is there. Outer space, like we've seen a lot of the universe. Not a lot.
We've
Like,
seen most of the universe.
That's not
We've
even
seen enough.
But like we've seen like millions of like it's like so
Light
far
years
so
away.
far away. I don't know if that's even true. But like and we don't see anything. But the ocean, we know there's stuff like close.
And maybe
to
like
there.
proximity too, like it's like closer to us.
The ocean.
That too.
I mean, the space just feels boring, and the ocean would be scary. That's what I would say about the two.
So would you rather be
The
lost?
ocean's a little boring, and space is a little scary.
But would you rather be like lost in space or lost at sea?
I'd rather be lost.
Well, I'd rather be lost at
'cause
sea
it's
than
easier to find. me.
Like, am I lost in a submarine thousands of feet below the water, or am I just
like
on a
Castaway.
Or
raft?
am I like on a cruise on the cruise line? that
Well,
they all
I
go
would-
on?
Floating in the middle of
I
the
would
Pacific Ocean. with no
prefer
one knowing
that
you're going.
over being lost in space. They're not gonna come find me.
They're not gonna try. They could.
Well, that's
see
what I'm
me.
wondering,
They're
because-
like, okay, womp womp.
But that's where it's like I think that fits into like the what's scarier. Like personally for me, like I'm probably slightly more scared of the sea than I am of.
Okay, but you wouldn't prefer to be lost in space.
You seen Life
like
of
like
Pi?
imagine you're on like a space.
That's my thing. Is like
Imagine you're on like a spacewalk, and like and you're like your cord just cuts, and you're just floating off into space.
yeah, that's
They're not finding
That's
you.
that's
You're gone.
You seen Life of Pi? He was low-key fine.
with the tiger.
He had a tiger.
Yeah, when he had a
Yeah,
tiger on his thing,
yeah,
and he had to like learn to like
fine.
befriend the tiger so it
Yeah.
didn't eat him.
It's a true story.
Or would you pull like the
Maybe, I
Martians,
don't
like
know.
colonize Mars? You know.
I don't know, but that's the thing. Like, do you think there are things out there?
Yeah, there's stuff out there, but we don't know. It's
something will
it's at
find
least
you.
not like.
Something
That's not.
something will find you. Like you're not alone.
This feels like it's hot to say, and then it's not hot when you think about it for a couple seconds. I feel like I wouldn't mind dying by like an alien. That's kind of cool. I'd rather like if I die from like a shark biting me versus like I find
you
some
don't mean
monster
that.
on Mars.
You don't mean that.
Like that'd be.
You'd rather be
You're
eaten
gonna
by a
get-
I'd rather
monster.
an alien kill.
That would be horrific.
Would you rather be? I don't know. I'd rather be killed by an alien. I've seen this is the first episode of South Park. Cartman gets an anal probe. It's by aliens.
I've seen that too.
Yeah, that would be worse. But I wouldn't mind getting eaten by an alien in Mars.
You'd rather be
I-
eaten by an alien than eaten by a shark.
I can't agree with that. I
Really?
think that's absurd.
Really?
I don't know because I'm just not a big fan of sharks. I'm not a big fan of sharks, but I'm also not a big fan of being
a big fan
alone
of
in
aliens.
space and just being
No, I'd
lost
rather
like
be lost at
Interstellar.
sea.
I think in space, you know no one's coming for you. At sea, at least you have some kind of hope that maybe someone will find you.
But doesn't it
There's
make it more
actually a good chance
torturous?
someone finds
No,
you.
because at least you have
No,
a chance.
there's a good chance. Like they,
But that's more torturous because you're
the ocean
hoping so much.
follows like a line and stuff, and if they crash, they have a really good idea of where the ship crashed, and then they go pretty extensively in a long radius before they turn back and are like probably dead. They spend a long time. It's being lost
Yeah,
at
but the sea is brutal.
We
Being
found we
is
have
brutal.
found people lost at sea. We've not found people lost in space.
And I think if we found you, we wouldn't do it. Well, that's
Look at
a lot of
Apollo
money.
11.
Like what in space?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're not gonna go
Like,
for one
you're not-
person.
We're
You're
not gonna
gone.
Go for one person. Yeah.
The government's gonna
Too much
cover it
money.
up and like you
Too
were
much
you were
money.
never
Yeah,
there.
Exactly.
He just disappeared. He disappeared. We don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just feel like space, like sea, is a little bit scarier. But I feel like being lost in space is scarier.
If I'm never
I
getting
agree with
found,
that.
I'd rather be lost in the sea. Oh, yeah, if I'm never getting found, I'd rather be lost.
But to me, the sea is a little bit more scary because like, you don't know what's under there.
Yeah, I feel like lost it's
We've
like
only-
like if you're like in like the deep if you're like in like the deep sea and like you're completely powerless. So you have,
like treading water in sea would be worse than lost in space. But like, I don't know.
I don't
If I'm lost in
know. I don't
space-
agree with
If I
that.
get lost in space, I think I'm just taking my suit off, and I feel like my head would just explode. Like, how miserable is?
Is it? I think that's. Doesn't it not explode? I thought it was.
You would freeze for
I thought
sure.
you freeze. Yeah.
Really?
Because of how cold it is, like absolute zero or something like that. Because there's nothing,
I don't know. Space
Yeah.
was cool.
which is crazy.
I mean, there's nothing to reflect off of.
The sun can't reach anything, so like it doesn't warm up.
Huh. Cool.
And so like, it just sits there, and then it just like you just freeze and just done.
Oh, you know what I don't believe?
You would freeze and suffocate. I mean, it's
I like all Mythbusters videos on the off chance that they grow like to 100 million subscribers and build a Mr. Beast type of empire and can do way bigger Mythbuster things, even though I don't really like their videos right now. And one of the ones I want to see them do is I want them to go to space and yell at someone like really close, and I think you could hear it because I think sound travels in space and you can hear people in space. I don't know. I think that's a myth that you can't. I don't understand that.
You think it's a myth
If
that
I get in
you
your
can't
ear and I'm
hear?
just screaming as loud as I can, I think you can hear what I'm trying to say in space.
I don't think so.
I do.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Well, what's the reason?
It's a complete vacuum.
Okay.
There's nothing there.
Well, a vacuum still sucks things. I'm gonna add something. What do you mean there's nothing there? There's my voice. There are things I'm saying.
It's like dumping a bag of flour for a vacuum, and it's
Yes.
gonna be.
Exactly. And then for a little while, the
But what
flour
happens to that
goes
flour?
away. And,
Yeah, exactly.
And you see the flour, and then it's gone. It'd be the same thing. It'd be a fleeting noise.
But the noise would come from here, right?
Yeah.
Sorry if I hit the mic. The voice would come from your throat, so by the time it hits your mouth, that's basically the entrance of the vacuum.
I don't need that much time.
My thing is, if you open your mouth, it's going to suck all the air out of your lungs.
Yeah, you're done.
But if okay, then I guess this is more theoretical. If I make noise will be made in space. If I yell, then you're gonna hear me yell in space.
I don't think you can.
Yes.
I don't think you can.
Yes, you can.
I don't know.
Okay.
But there is another thing. Because we're talking about vacuums, we're talking about stuff that doesn't exist.
Vacuum cleaner.
That's what
Vacuum
we're talking
cleaner.
about,
What's your favorite vacuum
What's your
brand?
favorite vacuum? Top 4. No, instead we are asking if humans never discovered fire, do you think we would exist as a population
No.
today?
No.
No? You don't think we'd find a way to get by?
No.
I think we needed fire.
Yeah.
Did we have to? We could eat cold meat. We don't die.
Old without fire.
Okay, I think we would not be, so I mean, obviously we would not be where we are today, but like, we would not be the same humans that we would be.
Yeah, I mean, it would be like his very select climates.
We would have evolved differently. It would have
Like,
been really weird.
But we would still exist.
Very, very select climates would have.
Dinosaurs still exist. You want to go the bird route? Are you counting that?
A chicken is
That's it.
closest
Are
to
you
a
counting
dinosaur.
that?
No, I'm saying, like, would we still exist? Like, would our species?
I think very, very.
Because our species
select-
would still exist,
I
it'd
think,
just be
you know what? I
different.
think very,
It'd look
very
different.
select cultures would be sustained where it's warm weather. I think the amount of places, you know, how we have like desert that like no one lives on. That would be like a lot more of the world. Like I would say, majority of the world, and we would have I think we'd have very select individual tribes that are constantly killing each other and have strict like reproduction and population laws, and we would live in a place.
There would be no society.
Yeah,
There'd
it
be no
would be tribal. It'd be
No,
it'd be
not
animal.
even.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
I think there'd be tribes.
I think you need like fire and advancement to do that, and that wouldn't happen.
But what does fire do that, like, I mean, yes, it cooks meat, so it helps prepare it better, but, I mean, technically our species lasted years before the fire.
I mean,
You need fire for like electricity though, right? Like,
But do we need electricity to live?
No, I'm just saying.
but
that,
also like for
Our lifespan would be
like
shorter.
for light.
like what percentage of America could you go year round if fire didn't exist at all? Like 30% of the United States, and I feel like we're probably one of the more weather. Like I mean, I feel like weather would be fine. Like if you're going too far south, too far north, I think most of the world would just be inhabitable.
I think there'd be a lot more wildlife, and I think that our species would still exist, but I think it would be a lot different. I'm like you. I think it'd be very underdeveloped, more tribal.
Yeah, of course.
Because you're not gonna like fire does help when it's like coming to like melting metals or like creating like certain things like that. So yes, we're
Okay.
not gonna have the buildings, the skyscrapers, like the cars, everything else. But I do think we will still have a population and a species.
Okay.
But I think our lifespan would be much shorter because we wouldn't be able to create medication. We wouldn't be able to like make sure things like water or food are like clean. So I think a lot more people would kind of be the sacrifices, if you will. Try that berry, try that water, like, and then see what happens.
Okay, I agree. I don't even think we'd be tribal. I think it would be more like be more animalistic. Would be what I would say.
Well, I mean,
there
what is
would-
it-
like, underdeveloped.
There would be no
What is it
society.
tribal? Like if there's families,
That's the sense of like.
a big 3-generation family. Is that animalistic or is that tribal?
Do you think it'd be more like,
It's like-
nomad? Is it nomad that I'm thinking of that
There's
died off?
no way we go. That's America. We have humans have too much of an instinct of like community. I don't think we would ever.
I think we only developed that like with.
But I think okay, like again, like grandparent, parent, uncle, aunt, all their spouse. It's not monogamous and stuff. So it's like them and then like 40 kids. Is that tribal or is that animalistic?
I think that's.
I think that's tribal. And then if it's like, if another family comes to our territory, we kill that family and enslave them. I think that's tribal.
I don't think you wouldn't. I don't think we'd keep slaves. I don't think.
I think we would keep slaves for sure.
I think that
Yeah, for
you would
sure.
probably find
It's
a
the idea
somehow.
of the wandering weak is dying, and the strong has shelter but needs food.
I feel like you're still bringing in like senses of like society into this.
I think that we would
But
have
I
those
don't think
senses of society.
Yeah, because I don't think all society would break down without fire. When you look at it, and I think you see like what's going on. I think there'd still be hints or like the idea of still having like an economy. It's just the economy isn't
kinda
what we
agree
see
with
it now. It'd be more like pebbles for fish. Like you're trading certain objects that you have.
I
value.
feel like the discovery of fire allowed us to advance these technologies, and if we didn't have fire, we wouldn't be able to do that.
No, 'cause
Correct. We wouldn't be
yeah,
able to advance as highly,
okay.
which means our.
I don't think we'd be able to advance like to currency, that wouldn't happen. I don't think.
Currency wasn't always currency. Go ahead.
I think we're dying of, it's frozen and we're dying, okay, and there's no water, and then this is just how society worked, and then you find a river, and then you stay by the river, and then people come by and they want the river, so they kill you, and then eventually
that's fine.
I think we're talking about, and then you have other people show up, and you're like, I don't want to die, so sometimes you have to let people into your community. Sometimes you might enslave them for them to work for you, and sometimes you might fight them. And there will be that decision you have to make. And then they probably have certain people make those decisions. I think we would move into a society in this way. Where it's like they have certain people make the decisions.
Interesting.
They probably have some people that are like, you're going to be the ones who fight like people coming in. You're going to be people who hunt. You know, maybe there's one guy that has a lot of wealth, and then there's a lot of, and this is in the Bible all the time and stuff, and a lot of wealth, and then there's a lot of women that are like, we have kids and we need them to be provided for because we're all going to die, so we're just going to all marry this guy, and then the guy, of course, is happy because he gets to have a lot of wives, and the wives are content because they at least are accounted for and stuff. So we have these polyamorous or whatever relationships, and I think that we would have a governing body in terms of who do we enslave, who do we kill, who do we let in, how do we manage the food. I think we would have these dynamics and decisions. It would just be
wouldn't be as polished. It'd be very basic, very fundamental.
Reach what like Greece or Rome ever reached. We would never reach that level.
Yeah, but my thought is like with the currency, like you were saying, it's like currency is only valuable because we give value to it.
Yeah.
True.
Like the value of $1 is different depending on the country that you're in, depending on however that economy is and all this other macroeconomics and microeconomics that I'm not really going to get into. But what it is that like even back then, like they didn't have dollar bills, they didn't have like pennies and dimes and all that. They had rocks, or they had like, I'll trade you a fish for a cow, or like whatever it may be. They trade because it's a certain value to them, and then they hope it gives a value to the person they're trading with. So you still have the idea of currency, but not the currency we see today, which is where I think most of our aspects of society come in, where we're not going to have those aspects of society. It won't be as easy to make those certain tools or those like the certain way to communicate, but it would still be there, just in a much more fundamental, or like how Caden's saying, tribal aspect.
Okay.
If you want to get really philosophical, I think that all decisions is, if you want to get abstract with it, economic and exchanging currency, one form of currency for another and stuff, in all aspects of life. And so I think that the idea of I just hunted this animal, I'm very thirsty, and then somebody like, I just boiled this toxic water, let's have food and water together.
Yeah.
Is an exchange of currency and stuff. And if you want to get abstract, I mean, I'm here right now because I'm sacrificing, I'm going to go to the gym later and stuff, and I'm tired, I don't want to go to the gym. I'm going to the gym later, but I'm sacrificing that because I want to be here and stuff. You could have your short story. You could have had your short story done by now and stuff. You could have your night ahead of you, but you're sacrificing that and stuff. So I think everything, even back when
everything is a choice. Everything is like a choice. Everything has a positive and negative.
Giving up everything, you're taking everything. So the idea of maybe like money and like there is a monetary value to this. I don't know if we'd ever reach that point, but the idea of like I have this good or service I'd offer in exchange for this one, I think we would absolutely have if there was no.
I don't think we would like get any semblance of society. I understand like where you're coming from. I could see that, but I still don't think we'd find any society.
So you kind of view fire as a fundamental aspect of human life.
I think that is like the first building block to
I've never started a
human
fire.
society.
I think it's more of like a
because you didn't have to.
I never, because like me, I think it's more of like a kickstart, like literally, like no pun intended, a spark. It was a spark to humanity that made everything go by quicker. And for me, it's almost like, a phone. If someone said, look, oh, can you live without your phone? Like, oh, but I can never communicate. Well, no, technically you can communicate. It'd just be much more fundamental. You'd have to write letters.
I think it's different.
Like, to me, that's how I kind of view fire, is that fire just helped make things a lot easier to make and a lot easier accessible, or a lot easier to develop and evolve. But without it, I think we can still find a way to survive.
Okay, I agree.
Just
That,
not in,
but
like,
I agree in the sense of like I feel like fire gave us the opportunity and the reason to advance other stuff. So I see where you're coming from though.
Does everyone have fire? Like, are there any civilizations right now in the world that hasn't figured out hasn't invented fire yet?
There are one or two uncontacted tribes that might not, but I
would be shocked.
I would too.
Because they would cook food.
Like if you go to like some kind of island or whatever, I feel like
what is that place, like North Sentinel Island?
Maybe.
You know the
Or
one
like
that's
Amazon?
No, it's off the coast of like
I've seen one that
Africa, but
they
like
have
it's an uncontacted tribe. Like
yeah, I wonder if they have fire.
I feel like everyone's kind of learned fire.
Like I feel
My
like
question is, how did everyone learn fire?
how many people? Let's say like okay.
Like if we, unless we learned fire when we were all like in the same group, but like if we were all spread out, how did one person learn fire and then the whole world knew about it? That's kind of
If you
Through exchange of ideas.
if you spent
Maybe-
your
oh, yeah, I
whole-
guess,
that's
like-
how we learn everything.
But if you can't communicate to the other tribes,
Well, if you run into them,
If you spent your
someone has
whole-
fire, they're like,
Yeah.
"How'd you do that?"
and then it spreads over time.
That's true.
If you spent your whole life on an island and somehow had, like survived, do you think you would at some point create fire?
Yeah.
Knowing
Knowing nothing.
Like
from the age of 8, you're
I don't-
just like you're
I
like
don't think so.
you're Truman Show-esque, like kind of systematically fed the resources to survive, and you're never told, but you have to create fire before you die. Do you think you can figure it out?
I don't.
You don't. I
Maybe if I'm
I would-
messing
I-
around, I wouldn't do it on purpose.
I would never think to rub
I
your together
think-
for a long amount of time. That would never
You don't
happen.
think- I think-
never.
see,
That
you
would
know what I think
never
is- I
happen.
think I would.
Unless happen. Oh, go ahead. What'd you say?
I think I would rub rocks and sticks together for a long time. I think you get pretty bored. I think I would probably.
It'd be like, how many rubs can I get before? Like, how many
I don't know.
rock rubs?
Well,
Okay,
and also maybe you know what I think could happen too.
What? Lightning strike.
Maybe, and this is ambitious and stuff. But the idea of like, oh, I scrape my arm on this tree and now it burns a lot. And then I can also be like, okay, now I'm freezing, except right here where I scrape my arm on this tree, I'm not freezing. So the idea of scraping creates a burning sensation. I feel like I could maybe if that's step one. I feel like I could get
No,
there.
I feel like what
I
would
feel like I
happen
could get
is you'd
there.
have a lot more scrapes. I feel like
I think so. I think I would.
You'd
hurt
end up, like,
myself. I'd
purposely hurt yourself to stay warm.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think at some point the idea.
It's like someone being like, let's drink alcohol because
Well, yeah.
alcohol keeps us warm inside.
Well, that people do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
but I'm saying, like, that's not going to be
But
good
at
for
some
you.
point, if I figured that out at 9 years old and I lived to 80, at some point the idea of like maybe if I put tree on tree, things burn. I think I can maybe think
I don't
that.
think.
Do you think you would figure it out before a lightning strike happens to catch
I
someone?
think that would be the only chance that I had.
That's what
And
would
I
happen.
would make
Right.
like some eternal flame that I would never let go out.
Like, never
I
let
would
go.
never figure out how to do that. Lightning strike
Well,
something. I would never go like, oh,
Would you learn to put wood
I would-
on it to
I
keep
would
it
never
on
like.
fire?
I don't know how to. Would you ever cook your food if you had fire? Like, what if you were born, came in at 8 years old, you had fire? Would you ever cook your food at any point?
I'm sure I would think of that eventually.
I think maybe because it's like cold and you'd be like,
I
Because I
think
think
I'd have
the
raw meat to
humans,
know.
the human's
Well, yes.
curiosity is much more I feel like it's much more tied to food and fire rather than stick and stick.
Well,
Yes, that I agree.
Well, I
with.
think it's most tied to I'm freezing in fire. Like I think that'd be the most.
Yeah, but I mean, it's. I feel like for a human that's so young and so like,
You're thinking,
almost
if you
innocent.
don't know what fire is,
Yeah.
you're not gonna think, oh, this is gonna
you would
make
think
me
you
warmer.
would think I'm cold, probably I need warmth, or like I'm too cold, and that's probably all you would think. I think there are too many steps between that and fire to be able to be all of a sudden like, oh, fire warms me
One
up.
step. It's rubbing sticks together.
You would not think of that as like,
I think
this
I
is
would.
gonna
Like,
keep
okay,
me warm. That's
like,
not gonna
what about,
happen.
Like, hey, okay, you know what? Let's go another route. Hey, that stick kind of looks cool. I want to make another stick look cool too. Let's like whittle. What is it?
Whittle.
Let's whittle a little bit, and then it's like, whoa, a spark, and then I'm just chase that high.
Do you know how like much effort you have to do to get
But you also
a
need like
fire
kindling.
to
You
start?
need like little like stuff to like catch the fire up, and then you need oxygen.
Okay,
and you need
I feel like once I see a flame, I'm gonna.
I think you're highly
I think
over.
once I see a flame, I'm gonna get there.
I don't. You would not know what that is.
Dude, I think if you've never seen fire before and you're just living alone on an island and you get a spark, you're chasing that high for the rest of your life.
But a spark,
I don't think
spark
that's
and a
a-
fire. No, I'm chasing food, and a spark and a fire does not like equate to.
I don't think you would figure it out.
I think I figured this out. And you,
I think you'd have a better luck. A lightning strike would hit a tree when I'm like 43 before I ever find fire.
And then you
that
make
would
an
count.
eternal flame that
That
you'd
would
never
count.
let go out.
that, or you just like you don't know because do you know that it feeds off of wood? Like maybe you throw sand on it and all of a sudden now it's out. You're on an island.
Yeah.
yeah, but it's not like there's an abundance of materials you could throw on the fire when you're trying to preserve the fire. Eventually,
We don't know what
wood would be
this
like-
is an arbitrary island.
wood would be like my
You
third guess.
don't know what is on this.
Wood would be my third guess.
What would be your first
It would be
two?
sand and then water, and water would be a dumb one. But I don't know.
Sand would too because sand puts it out.
Because I'd be
Sand
like,
puts it out.
I have the most of this.
I think I would be water cold, fire hot.
Let's see. I don't
You
think
think
you
you would
that.
know? You think you
No.
At an 8 year old, at 8 years old,
Yeah,
like I
let's see
don't
if
think.
you're like 20, your age right now. You think you would know for sure that the ocean would put your fire out?
No.
I would not know
I would
anything
try.
if I was
Yeah, I
looking
would-
at
You
an
don't know
island,
until you try. That's how we
I would
learned
try.
everything.
Yeah.
and I wouldn't try it.
My question is, how do they recreate fire? Because wasn't
At
fire
some
first
point,
found?
someone did it and was like, "Whoa!" and then
Yeah.
like chased that high and found it. Like,
Because my but the high was only sparked from the
it's
lightning
like the
strike, wasn't it?
Shakespeare's monkey thing. Like if you put a million humans, one of them's gonna eventually do it. But if you put one guy on an island, he's not gonna make fire. But if you put like a billion of them,
You need like more
one
trucks.
of them's gonna make
It's like
fire.
there was at some point a first guy to try getting on a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I like. thinking
That's
about
actually-
that.
And there was like a first guy to like.
First guy to try and milk a cow or like.
Yes.
We had that conversation
No way.
before.
His intentions were like what ended up happening.
He goes back, guys.
I think this is
I think
edible.
about that a lot. Like you know, your chocolate covered raisins. I don't know the first person to create wine and raisins out of grapes.
Hawaiian pizza, Buddy had so much messed up.
No, that one was definitely.
That was just
Unfortunately
It's a totally
intentional.
perfectly decent.
But he had so much messed up. Like the dude just said pineapple, ham, and pizza.
Well, you said allegedly.
You put tomato sauce in your pineapple?
chocolate
No, but all of a
chip
sudden
cookies
it's fine when you put
were a
village cheese.
mistake,
mistake. Yeah.
which is
Chocolate chip
crazy.
cookies?
They were a mistake.
Same with bubble wrap.
Potato chips were too.
Oh yeah. Well, no, that was just because someone was like mad.
No, yeah, potato chips basically someone told this.
It was
like,
wasn't it
someone
wasn't
told
it Cornelius
this-
Vanderbilt?
Yeah,
Vanderbilt.
yeah.
mistake.
Someone told this chef like they asked for potato slices, and then the guy was like, "Your potato slices are too thick and not crispy enough." And the chef got so mad, he cut them razor thin and just burned them, and then salted them and gave them to him. And they were like, "These are so good," and they were like, "What?" And that's how we had potato chips. He said
Yeah.
he salted the hell out of them too. Like it's
Dude, so many things have been like created by
And
accident.
I
or, like,
wouldn't
on
do.
purpose.
I don't think I would do that.
I don't think I would.
Fireworks were kind of an accident. They just thought explosions looked cool and wanted to figure out a way to make explosions that were.
What's like bubble wrap?
Well, I
Bubble wrap
think
was originally
weren't
wallpaper.
the first like rocket.
I think
like
I think
fireworks.
X-rays.
Yeah.
I think either X-rays were microwaves before, or microwaves were supposed to be X-rays. One of the two. It's like they're
I've heard
intertwined.
stuff like that.
It's something like that.
like multi-purpose things and stuff, you know.
But I mean, with all these inventions and ideas, we can find out on the next episode because we may have a topic come up of the most underrated invention.
I would say
ever made.
saving that for next time.
Fire
be saving that for next time.
Overrated
Okay.
invention.
We're gonna be saving that for next time. But until then, I hope you guys stick around. It's been like 40 or 50 minutes, so I hope if you did stick around, we
I didn't hit
ain't-
record, so it's fine.
It's fine. We're all good. But you know, if it didn't, it's just practice. So we thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on Be For Real. Caden, do you want to go ahead and
Yeah.
sign us off?
This is
We're gonna be
big,
still in
this
there.
is big for you. You don't gotta go over there and do it
Yeah,
yourself.
usually I go over and I hit it, and you guys are just standing here staring at the camera. But
I know.
now it's off me.
Now you
I'm
get to-
I'm
get to-
wired in.
get to do an
Wherever my
intro.
wire is, I'm wired in.
Any second now,
So
we're in disappear.
have a great time, guys. See you next time.